Welcome to Poetica, the music of words. Our approach to poetry brings music to spoken word performance.
In this manner, we interpret classic and original poetry in a new light.
Join us on a journey through heritage, real or imagined, in this piece entitled, Call Me Country. Son of work-a-lifetime parents, grandson of sharecroppers, great-grandson of slaves, great-great-grandson of slaves, of slaves, of slaves, of slaves. Then suddenly, there's a tribal shaman, witch doctor to some, devil to others, dead gypsy spirit to still more. The line continues through a jungle council leader, baboon hunter, bull shepherd, star watcher, swamp gatherer, shaper of gold and ivory, lion killer, spear fisher, master drummer, traveling storyteller, fire maker, tomb builder, mason, architect, lawgiver, scribe, priest, and pharaoh. Pharaoh! I gaze into a seed of corn, and in its sheen reflects the face of a God of resurrection. Before Abraham, before Buddha, before Moses, before Jesus, before Muhammad, he is the Lord Osiris, whose image is the constellation Orion, soars over 5,000 years of written, painted, and carved history. And some say 40,000 years in the memory of Egyptian genes. By inheritance, his crown is my crown. His crown is your crown. His crown is my crown. So you can call me country anytime. Yeah, you can call me country anytime. The idea of Poetica is to create an experience with poetry that is revitalizing the medium. We have many separate disciplines, separate dance, separate painting exhibits, separate music concerts. We want to bring together the experience of art around poetry because it's the word, okay? And the word is the most basic communication form, and the voice. So by having those two elements, we then expand music around that, and we start interpreting the works of unknown and well-known poets as well as our own original poetry to create a unified experience.
Our philosophy in marrying music to poetry isn't something particularly new. It dates back to antiquity, when poets were typically accompanied themselves with a lute, for example. Back in the 50s in Greenwich Village, it wasn't atypical to find the beatnik poets performing with flutes and percussion. So it's not something particularly new, but I think what we bring to it as a kind of a special nuance is that we very much marry the music to the words. We try to make them one.
Poetica also performs classic poetry. This is a piece written by George Gordon, alias Lord Byron, and the piece is called She Walks in Beauty. This is a Poetica interpretation. She walks in beauty like the night. Of cloudless climes and starry skies. And all that's best of dark and bright. Meet in her aspect and her eyes. Thus mellowed to that tender light, which heaven to gaudy day denies. She walks in beauty.
One shade the more, one ray the less, had half impaired the nameless grace which waves in every raven tress, or softly lightens o'er her face, where thoughts serenely sweet express how pure, how dear their dwelling place.
And on that cheek and o'er that brow, so soft, so calm, yet eloquent. The smiles that win, the tints that glow, the tale of days in goodness spent. A mind at peace, when all below. A heart whose love is innocent. She walks in beauty. She walks in beauty. The music is what imbues the resonance of feeling, of time and place. You know, we move backwards in time, forward in time. We play ancient music. We try to play modern music. And so, in that sense, the listener is not confronted with a static experience of just sitting to someone reading.
We are all seekers of answers, and many questions do eventually lead us there. But one question sometimes seems unanswerable. Why? Why? Is why the one question that no one answers? Why? Some are born to have, others to have not. Why? Some live free, and others aren't even free to live. What can be seen and felt and touched? Who is someone? A name, face, DNA. When? Well, when must be a date, an event in time and space. Where? Says longitude, with the latitude and attitude to move. But why brings to mind a void? Could it be to avoid the question? Or is it maybe, possibly, an evolution of matter, being, and consciousness that leads to why, as it does, to the last letter in the word itself?
A big part of Poetica is collaboration. We have collaborated with other poets. Maria Brown, for example, on one of my favorite pieces called Handle with Care, which addresses domestic violence. As a matter of fact, again, choosing appropriate music, it's almost a Renaissance romantic approach for the music to the aspect of love.
We feel it's important to celebrate the fabric of love as that fabric that binds us together. And I think you'll hear that it comes with its own care label and Handle with Care. The gift of love comes to you packaged in a myriad of sizes and shapes. Whether its form be tall or short, large or petite, the gift is always beautiful and precious, like the most perfect jewel in the crown of creation. Not to strike, not to curse, not to scream, not to bruise. This gift is quite rare. Please, handle with care. Far from fragile, love is resilient and enduring. But its nature can't withstand repeated blows of anger, abuse, or apathy, of indifference or ignorance, selfishness or silence. not to strike, not to curse, not to scream, and not to bruise. This gift is quite rare. Please, handle with care. Like the clear blue of Earth's ocean, the wet green foliage of a rainforest, the silken rich texture of good earth, or the translucent azure window of the sky. The gift of love is to be treasured, protected. To accept it is to follow these instructions. This gift is quite rare. Please, handle with care.
We're working with artists as well. Barbara Bloom, as a matter of fact, we're utilizing some of her paintings.
We have ideas to use photographers, painters, and also dancers.
Part of our multimedia approach, trying to incorporate the visual into the music and the spoken word.
We don't even know what it's going to be. That's part of the excitement, when you don't know the result ahead of time, okay? So that has been a very gratifying part of what we're doing. Even when Bob and I work, we come together with ideas, but the final result is always something other than what we might have initially intended. We'd like to perform this piece called Roll on Hudson. That's a part of a Hudson River trilogy Poetica has written to honor Henry Hudson and the Hudson River. I've traveled many oceans, seen wild and distant lands, but something about my river love I'll never understand. She seems to hold the answer if I just take her hand and sail her magic waters. I'll find the promised land. So roll on Hudson, roll on to the sea, roll on through the mountains, roll on in my dreams. Kings and queens await my word that you hold China, India, and Siam on the other side of your crystal shores. So embrace me, show me who I am. Lifeblood of the blessed land flowing through my heart, feeding dreams of blue and gold. Set a course on my chart. So roll on Hudson, roll on to the sea, roll on to the mountains, roll on in my dreams. Your kiss is clean and wet, your tears are free of salt. A wave of cleansing beauty provides ablution for us all. When my eyes close at last, I'll ride your gentle water to begin again
the twists and turns of life with you, Hudson River. So roll on, Hudson, roll on to the sea, roll on through the mountains, roll on in my dreams, roll on in my dreams.
Of course, our grandest plan, a bit of a wish certainly, what if one evening, New York City, the East Side, Madison Square Garden, the world's largest open mic poetry night. Picture it, 18,000 screaming people appreciating poetry in a venue and a setting and a mood such as they've never experienced.
We want to go places where no poets have ever gone, and and that may be hard, but we want it to be fun. That's what it is. It's really the most fun to challenge ourselves, and we're going to keep doing it. It's working out real good. So we invite other poets, other artists to contact us and to join in on the fun.
Experiences can be life-changing and life-affirming. And sometimes a chance encounter on a crowded, busy street can change your life forever, as it did in Take Time to Play. I was walking down 10th Street yesterday, in my usual way, a high-speed chase in the left lane of life. Projects to do, things to accrue. I was a non-stop vibe emotion, just going and going and going and going, like an ever-ready rabbit, man. That was till yesterday, when I heard Sam. He was blowing that horn to the kind of beat that slowed the street to a crawl, a south side drawl. My feet stopped moving, my head started grooving as I stood and watched him play. And when he paused to put down his axe and pick up the stacks of coins in his hat, I said I wish I could be like that, cool and loose, relaxed and mellow. You know, Sam replied, my good fellow, all you need to do today is just be sure to take time to play. Now, you know, I think about Sam, I think about that saxophone. Sometimes I even hear his voice on the street. When I get caught up in the daily grind that turns steak into hamburger meat, why, I'll paste cartoons on my office walls. Maybe I'll skateboard through the local malls. As a matter of fact, before I'm through, I think I'm gonna wear my tails to the zoo. You see, I'm gonna remember that thing that Sam would say, to just be sure, to take time to play.
We've enjoyed performing for you and want to thank you all for listening. If you would like more information on Poetica, please contact us at area code 914-381-0502. And again, we thank you.
You sense the life force deep at the core of your being.